Section 4.3 is on slope-intercept form. So just remember that we looked at the definition for slope-intercept form. It's the equation y equal to mx plus b, where m is your slope, b is your y-intercept. So let's take a look at definition for slope. So we could think about slope as rise over run. It's essentially the way that your line slants. Does your line slant to the right? Does it slant to the left? Is it flat? So slope tells us about the way that our line slants. So we could, like I said, think of it as rise over run. There's a formula for slope, and if you're given 2 points on your line, you can easily calculate the slope. This is a formula that you need to have memorized. Essentially, there are 2 formulas here. You just need to know one of them. They will both give you the same answer. So now I have my points written as x1, y1, x2, y2. So these are just 2 points. And the formula for slope is rise over run. So you always have your y values in the numerator and your x values in the denominator. It's always like that. So you can write y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or we could start with y1 minus y2, and you have to start with x1 minus x2. Doesn't matter which formula you use, like I said, you will get the same answer. So I'm just going to box this because we need to use it right now. So here's an example, or 2 examples. So basically, if you have 2 ordered pairs, any 2 ordered pairs on a line, we can use the 2 points to calculate the slope using the formula. I'm going to use the first formula, this one right here. You can label your points if you want. You can say x1, y1, x2, y2. Doesn't matter which one is x1 or x2, doesn't matter which one's y1, y2. I could have said the first point was x2, y2, and the second point x1, y1, doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. So we have m equals, I'm going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Where do you have to be careful? You have to be careful with your signs, because the signs will make a big difference if you have positive slope or if you have negative slope. So let's see. In this case, m, y2, so that's 0, minus 1, okay, numerator, and then 5 minus 3. You always want to make sure that your slope is simplified and reduced. We have negative 1 over 2. So one quick thing about fractions is if your fraction is negative, I can put the negative with the numerator. This is also the same as writing 1 over negative 2. So you can have the negative in the numerator, we could have the negative in the denominator, and you can also write the negative in the middle. Okay, these are all equivalent. It doesn't matter where the negative goes as long as it is part of your answer. So this is essentially the rule for fractions when you have a negative sign. Let's do example B. x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, we have to be careful here because I do have some negative values in the first point. So by using the first equation here, we have 4 minus a minus 2. This is where you have to be careful. The formula has a minus sign, and then I have a minus number or a negative number for the y.